The 5 most important events still to come in Pokémon GO. Niantic has been poking around its fanbase recently, trying to figure out which events the Pokémon GO community has liked best, presumably as a way to plan for the future. I've suggested already that the game pretty clearly needs monthly events to retain interest, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that soon enough. So far, everyone is voting for the candy-filled Halloween event as their favorite, though I picked the starter-infested holiday event Part 2, which I found more enjoyable because I actually cared about the monsters I was hunting. Many of these events are tied into specific additions to the game. Halloween took advantage of the new body system. Thanksgiving was when Dito launched. Christmas was related to the Gen 2 babies. But as everyone knows, there are certain major events still to come in Pokémon GO. Once the game has been dodging since launch, yet almost everyone knows they're on the way at some point. I'm not talking about wishful thinking additions to the game like my plans for Team Rocket and PCs. I mean stuff that definitely is going to happen, but it's just a matter of when. Here are the 5 more important events still to come in Pokémon GO 5. Region unlocking. This week, Nintendo announced they were doing away with region locking for their upcoming Switch console, and it seems about time that Pokémon GO does as well. While it was a fun idea to have Mr. Mime, Farfetch'd, Tauros and Kangaskhan region-specific Pokémon at launch, the time has come to release these 4 from their bonds, and allow them to spawn anywhere in the world. It's time, as Pokédexes get full, and players can't be expected to plan global vacations to fill these last slots. I could easily see an entire event being structured around these 4 making their way into the wild at last. You wouldn't really need to catch more than the 3 you don't have, so maybe it's just a long weekend sort of things with a few bonuses, but it would make for a playable event all the same. 4. Shinies. Shinies would be a great addition for Pokémon GO for a few reasons. It's a pretty low-effort addition to the game, just a colored reskin of each Pokémon and maybe a uniformly tweaked intro animation. But there's something players go wild for in a handheld game, and adding them into GO is a no-brainer. Not only would the appearance of shinies encourage players to catch more Pokémon, including ones they might normally not even click on in the wild, but something like increased chance of shinies this week could actually be an additional modifier for any event going forward. 3. The legendary birds now are getting into true blockbuster territory, things that would be the biggest events put into the game since launch. There have been many theories about how Niantic might introduce the legendary birds into the game. The most prominent is that they may have something to do with the 3 teams in the game, given that they're the logos for each of them. My own personal idea was some sort of lengthy quest that players could complete in order to get each bird. Catch 10 fire types, get a 30km egg, hatch the egg, fight the stupidly powerful bird, be able to catch it. Something like that. Whatever the case, rolling out the legendary birds is a big deal, and it's about time Niantic starts making moves in this direction too. Mew and MEWTWO. An even bigger addition to the game would be 150 and 151 themselves, Mew and MEWTWO. I've spoken previously about how it would be possible that MEWTWO might actually break the game, if he's as powerful as he's supposed to be and allowed to be stacked in gyms. But he has to come to the game somehow, and it remains to be seen if Niantic will indeed channel their trailer and figure out some way to do a giant landmark spawn event that has players working together to take down MEWTWO and eventually capture him. Mew I could see being introduced into the game in a more low-key way, perhaps like Ditto was, given that he's not a brawling powerhouse like his clone. It would be cool if Mew was some sort of ARG treasure hunt, like how players in the original game had all these lengthy things they thought they had to do to get him. He's under that drop. Or eventually to actually unlock him in the game legitimately. Either as a pair or separately, Mew and MEWTWO would be blockbuster events for Pokémon GO, and I can't wait to see what Niantic comes up with for their release one. Gen 2. So, why did Gen 2 make the top of the list? Because dumping 100 new Pokémon into the game would be the biggest thing GO has seen since launch, bar none. Bigger than the missing regionals, the birds or Mew and MEWTWO. Fun as those may be, once you have them, the event is pretty much done. But Gen 2 would unleash a totally new flood of Pokémon into the game that would increase engagement in every possible way, for a vastly extended stretch of time. I am a little worried about what Niantic did with Gen 2 babies, is I'm hoping that they're not just going to trickle out Gen 2 5-6 Pokemon at a time. Rather, they need to arrive all in one fell swoop, at least other than the new legendaries, which will then need their own major events. And then, of course, Gen 3, in the far-flung future. Check out these other amazing videos. Subscribe to our channel. Don't forget like, comment and subscribe. Thank you so much. Subscribe now.